once upon a time playing with a Vanguard, but was kind of dominant in their opening game within this close qualifier. You know, he's a young 18-year-old AWPer that can be quite explosive, it seems.
Absolutely. So I'm intrigued. I mean, this AMKAL team, they're ranked fairly highly. They've clearly got some seasoned players. I have a lot of questions over where this team is heading. Very quickly for the veto. Ruby picked Ancient. AMKAL picked Vertigo, which of course we saw Guild lose earlier to Ruby, and the third will be Overpass. No Anubis, that is the permaban of AMKAL. But here and now, here on Ancient, this is Ruby's pick, and you know, given what we saw earlier, I'm just excited to see more of these guys.
Yeah, they played each other in the open qualifiers on Vertigo, where AMKAL actually beat them 13-8. So interesting that we'll see that again. But first map is Ancient, and it's already gotten off to quite a quick start. Nickelback just fighting out into the open, close side A main, and they can't quite track him down. It takes a lot of effort to find that trade, but they already find themselves at a very heavy man deficit. Forrester as well picking up some slack here on this A play, and Krad right behind him to collect another headshot. So AMKAL shut down what Ruby tried to get going in this pistol rarely handily.
Makes me nervous. A pause this early. Makes me icy.
Want to warm up into the game.
No, I like winter. Especially when the moon's out. Right. What have we got going here? I haven't watched much of Icy play. I've got to be honest. Of course, you know, with these players in the past and some of the people they've played with, you know, seeing people like Deco, Elian at his peak as well. They really spirited their teams. They were big parts of how these teams operated, and I'm interested to see how Icy fits into that dynamic. If he's a star for the future.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like it could be the case. I mean, AMKAL in the qualifications to the RMR, one of the teams that actually made it through flawlessly and beat Astralis in a best of 3. So that's the new version of Astralis, not the old one.
Ooh. Okay. Still gonna be a hard bomb plant. We've got a Molotov on Winter, and they've just about found a spot, and there's nobody actually in CT to deny it. So this is already a result. One more kill on the Glock. It's starting to get a little bit nerve-wracking if you're AMKAL. There's no body armor on this T side, so very much favored in these duels as aim punch becomes a factor. Krad is could have died there, just about gets away with it. So granted, free alive is not a bad retake, but if you're Ruby, couple kills, bomb plant given the investment, you're really setting yourself up now well going into this gun round.
I saw Ruby really bring the chaos and a lot of really hectic rounds to Guild Eagles that they sometimes got away with. Sometimes it was sort of squeaked out by Guild and, you know, kept afloat. This is a bit more comfortable than that previous series. Already a nice tone set, I think, from AMKAL, that they're able to come in on these retakes. They're able to stop them in their tracks. But Ruby were really good at finding entries, and now that they're on rifles, we'll look forward to seeing players like Dex, like Soalio, maybe get some impact or in the first gun.
To list off some of the names, I think, for us, I think Dex was the main focus earlier. Played quite a lot of lurking spots, actually, on T side, but he is crisp. He is deadly if you come into his crosshairs. Swalio had his moments too, and then Moon wasn't bad either. So that kind of feels like the power trio, and then I guess I would have thought Winter's more of a leadership figure for this team.
Yeah, I think he's calling for this team, from my understanding. But pretty spread are the Ruby offense, not really committing to an idea too early. Of course, a deep smoke in towards B as well does mean that any sort of B control will be somewhat delayed. So now that that smoke's faded, a Molotov, a couple of flashes, they show some presence. But there were a couple shots fired over at A as well, so AMKAL players do have to be at least a little bit skeptical of this play. Coming out from elbow, Cade floored by Forrester. And already thinking that it might be some sort of an A-side finish, with that just being the mid-side lurk, but a fresh smoke inside of Cave, that cuts off access to this B-bomb site. It makes things so much more difficult, and they're going to reroute.
Krad, you madman. He's hearing all of this! Winter down. Calls the cavalry to rotate. 2 players committed. And they're going down. Forrester offers no defense. That's towards Temple as well. Nickelback still tucked in the backside. And time is becoming a huge issue. Travis swings and does deny it. With a little bit more time, I think AMKAL could have got something done there. They just had to rush it at the end.
Yeah, Ruby were in a bit of a bind because of that timer for sure. I thought as soon as Nickelback got that kill, peeked out towards A main and saw nothing, he was going to be able to just play the big box and hide and play time from there on out because Ruby had so much urgency about them to get that bomb planted. But as soon as Moon got that kill, I thought there was access, but Travis was very quick-footed to run them down and stop that plant. As soon as he kills the player that's not planting, the second is free. Some nice reactions out of AMKAL, but they are giving quite a lot of space and respect to what Ruby are offering. You know, they're not sort of haphazardly conceding territory. There's always some sort of space to be gained or something to be read into, even in that mid-rounding. Started cheating, rotates over towards A. Crad as well, like you said, just go for a madman play out of cave.
That'd be Crad. Crad lives and dies by the sword. He is a joy to watch. I can imagine maybe a nightmare to coach sometimes, but a lot of fun here for us on the broadcast. B-pop from Ruby and Crad, the snake in the grass. And this Viper is chomping down its teeth. It's just Moon. This bomb is not going to get planted, and after some fairly frisky rounds, this one looks pretty clean for AMKAL.
Yeah, some decent damage done to a couple of players, so still a chance for Moon on this P250. Just to do some damage. Doubt he gets much further than that. They're all surrounding this site. Yeah, Moon, I think, realizing that they're not going to give him much of anything. Might waste 50 seconds of our time here.
We're good all night.
As much as it does pain me, you know, this could have been a break-in, a bomb plant for Ruby, how they just cleared Crad. Got caught by a team flash in and amongst it, so there were ways this could have gone wrong for AMKAL, but those exist in another universe. 4-0 start here for AMKAL. And Ruby not getting any of the same successes that we saw Strike versus the Guild Eagles to start.
Early days. Early doors. Another buy round. Dex refusing to buy any more util. Just going to buy a smoke. Okay, maybe he's going in first. Where's his spawn? Yeah, good mid spawn. He's heading straight in. Forrester on location. He's alone. No, he's not. One player with him. That's Nickelback. Forrester does find the kill. Did very well to dodge those flashes. And Nickelback makes it too. This mid-take hasn't worked at all for Ruby. Nickelback tagged up heavily by that Molotov, but he's still alive. Crad is helping as well from Jaguar 2. And for the moment, Ruby just completely thwarted in their default. Forrester not relenting whatsoever. They don't need to stay aggressive necessarily, but I think riding a wave of confidence right now is this young man.
It'll be very difficult as well to re-peek from elbow. Kind of hoping that these players in B lane can accomplish something. This could be a nice flash, facilitating that peek from Cade, but Forrester able to adjust in time. Does fall to the AWP of Moon eventually, but that's information garnered. I think he spotted both players outside of B, and so you can see Icy starting to rotate round. He was that last man standing to defend a potential A play. Winter just trying to creep, but Nickelback, a great angle. The bricks covering his position. And not a whole lot that Moon can do here. Once again, last man standing. I think he just caught the shoulder of Crad playing up close. Knows that a swing is coming, but he cannot hit the flick. Crad flooring him straight away with that M4. And AMKAL looking solid. Not a lot of gaps, not a lot of weakness shown early. I like the confidence.
Nickelback 7 and 2, Crowd 7 and 1. Travis not far behind.
And pretty much everybody
Bad.
fighting well here on AMKAL. Only one not involved is Icy, who's 0-1, and I don't know, he's just not been in the right spots, really.
He'll warm into it, I believe. There's no one on A right now. Forrester's now peeling off mid. And a timely Molotov to hold Ruby at bay. Crowd is calling to his teammates. I can't see anybody lane. Nobody mid either. Let's lean a little bit further. Icy on his way to pick up mid. Nickelback gives mid a re-smoke. Well, they're going to be fast on the flank when this hit comes in. Dex gets boosted, but nobody to find with that AK. Nades through. Flashes, and here we go. That's a great angle for the AUG. 2 for Forrester. Is traded in the end. Bomb plant, though, could be problematic. Always is on this site, and there's a lot of CTs in attendance. Cade's going to struggle to get much more out of this, and the CTs don't necessarily need to fight this terribly hard. There he goes. That's more like it. 4 alive. Not really looking at all for Ruby.
Damn. Gotta commend Forrester for committing to the spray with the AUG there. Such a deep range of relatively slim line, and that's where the AUG can be so advantageous. But you know, I think many players would you go for bursts, but he was expecting numbers, and he found 2 very quickly. So yeah, overall, even though they started with nobody on A, they read into it rather quickly on the AMKAL side. Taking a lot of damage to that Molotov, right? I don't think Forrester realized how far it extended, but Dex on the ledge, Nickelback finding it, and Sawalio actually spamming for Forrester there. Expecting that there could be some hijinks afoot.
I think Dex may have spotted him, maybe, even if it was just the radar. Could have been a factor. Travis is very advanced. Winter's right in front. Oh, second kill's perfect. And there's nobody out towards the B doors to get some revenge. He is stuck, Travis, but he's just causing so many problems. There he goes. But he's done his job. Crad is going to stay aggressive in Jag. He's just playing a wide off angle. Bit of a risk. Does need to find his frag, and he doesn't. Okay. Nickelback's come to pick up the site. He's a little bit low on HP. Moon is fallen off to throw a smoke, and I do hope the bomb crosses before Icy gets up.
Oh god.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm so nervous for him, but good kill. This is great for them now. Just run off to A and get Nickelback's HP. They got a great advantage.
Yeah, this started off as a 4-on-2. And these 2 men have fought hard to get it back into their favor. Nickelback creeping out from Temple. It's a 4K from Sawalio. Huge kills. And the one onto Crad really just opened up all these opportunities. Icy jumping up, caught as well, couldn't hit the shot. And Sawalio, one of those names we were looking at from that guild game, showing face for their first round. I thought after Travis got that double in lane, it
should have been done.
Yeah.
I mean, he had... Granted, he goes down, but he's bought so much space. It's also the information. He got... As soon as he dies, you know pretty much where the remaining AMKAL players are. It's all crad, really. I just don't think he needed to stay aggressive. I don't think he needed to do that, and... As soon as he goes down, then you've got a big gap in the defense. So maybe some words along these lines exchanged between the guys. And this little bit of a respite, but we're back into it. All on Icy. This round he is starting. Where are you? Over towards A this time. Can take an early line onto the A tunnels. Nobody there to greet him, but it does allow his teammates to be a little bit more confident staying in towards mid.
Aggressive mid-take here from Ruby. Nickelback still fighting out in the open, but Forrester finds one through smoke. Dex as well, though, countering onto Crad, continuing to be aggressive into Jag, and find ourselves in this 3-on-3 where there's a lot of chaos towards middle, and does leave a massive information gap here for AMKAL. Saw Travis walk down the B ramp previously. Did catch the Ruby players significantly off guard. But that bomb is not making its way over to where the brunt of the player base is here for the T side. Instead, they're relinking in through mid. That's where Icy has his AWP posted in Donut. This will be a hard fight. Moon trying to cross an Icy. Scoping in on time. Catches that bomb. The AWP down as well, and so they know they have to go and retrieve it. Icy retaking the same angle, and it's timed so well with that flash. Winter not quite ready for the fight, and they're going to try and overwhelm, and finally Dex getting a handle on the situation, but needs to recover that package. It's been encroached upon by Forrester, and he'll hold that high ground. Sure, it's a first round for Ruby after a 4K from Sawalio, but they're met right back with an AMKAL defense.
Great round. Great round from Icy. He was given a lot there. Had to balance players coming through A. He had to lock down mid on his own. I think there was a reload on B that held the rotator for a long time in that 3-on-3. But Icy did brilliantly. And I'll tell you what, Ruby has really struggled for bomb plants. There have been a lot of these half buys because they just can't muster buy after buy. Another round where mid, a player is fragged without any rebuttal. Go back, tagged up a little bit. Crad keeps dying, man. He keeps dying coming out of Jag. And luckily his teammates are a match to it, but getting a bit frisky, aren't you, Crad?
Yeah, he likes getting in their face a bit. Just slightly. Well, they're sent packing. They got a lot of space on A, but as soon as Nickelback got his kill, the rest decided to call it quits. And the mid-prong couldn't link up. So, we'll see what Moon and Winter can get done here, but given the way that a lot of these rounds have panned out, I wouldn't say the chances or the prospects are looking too likely. Little jump spot there from Nickelback. Very hard to deal with when you're on those pistols. Winter does get his one kill, but there's Nickelback to sweep up the remainder. A nice three-piece from Nickelback. Not exactly the player that you're expecting to leap off the page. You know, this is the in-game leader for the AMKAL side. You've got Crad as an aggressive piece, Forrester, you know, very much a steady hand alongside Travis, and you've got Icy as a young star. Nickelback's the guy you really don't expect to be involved in much the same way, but when he's having a good game, this AMKAL team can be quite terrifying.
Where's the weak link if Nickelback is playing well?
Yeah.
It is, I mean, it was the same with the old one-win lineup. I do just look at the lineup and I'm just thinking, this could be good.
Yeah.
We're cooking with gas. I mean, especially if Icy turns out to be a prospect, it was certainly the case with the Deco lineup, but, you know, if Icy is even close to that caliber, there's still, you know, Forrester at his prime was maybe even a top 20 player for a certain period. Travis, an excellent rifler in his own right. Crad, yes, he's a bit hit or miss, but he's a bit of a wild card. If he's your sole wild card, you can kind of make it work. He's a bit like a budget Boros, really, is Crad. And then, yeah, you're saying if Nickelback maintains a decent individual level, it really is not a team to be trifled with.
Yeah, I remember Forrester being my favorite player to watch on that Entropic team because it just felt like his timings were always great. Felt like he was a good litmus test for how good things were going in scrims and how good the team was going to perform when they were still Entropic. So nice to see that he's not shied away in this first map either.
Crad, you madman. Oh my lord. Surely he gets traded. There's a nade here on Moon as well. How does Crad get to? How does Crad get to? Just Crad things. Hashtag just Crad things. Travis, you didn't need to push, brother. But at least Icy makes up for it. 4-on-2. What a man. Crad, hero of our time.
Oh, that's a lovely shot by Cade. But there's the re-aggress from Crad, who not only got away with his first kill on low HP, but he feasts for 4 in this round. I don't know how he's gotten away with this. The second kill, egregious, and the other 2 just simply were not prepared for Crad to continue fighting. But that's what that man does. He fights. Jeez, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Can't trade a low HP player. Can't stop him.
I mean, I do think, a bit like Guild earlier, I do think AMKAL are playing a little bit reckless. They're winning a lot of duels. They're making it work. But there is something in the back of my mind saying that I saw this earlier.
Yeah.
So I just hope they got a little bit more patience and that sort of jazz if it comes to it in this game. That's a good kill from Moon. That's what we're here for. But yeah, the rate this is going, Ruby, this is their map pick. For those that weren't here earlier, it was a pretty bad start up against the Guild Eagles. But it's just, I don't know, it's just the nature of these rounds. You've had the sole bomb plant so far, just the 1 round win, and they really are getting shut out quite a lot of Ruby.
Yeah, it's not as if AMKAL aren't conceding kills, like you're saying. You know, there are these chances, but very few of them have gone amiss. Well, only 1, really. There goes that man again. Crad, another kill, and there's Forrester to make sure that nothing else falls out of hand. Already double digits, and only 1 round remaining in this half. Ruby could really use at least that extra round for some cushion, some hope that you don't have to put all your eggs into a pistol-sized basket. But you're probably in that camp, regardless of whether you're on 1 or 2 rounds anyway.
Not the way I want to look at it, but my mind is already saying, I know they can play a decent Vertigo. And unfortunately, this is just so far gone, this, isn't it? It's maybe the map win is already out of the question, but I just want to see them play some Counter-Strike. I want to see them... They've played 2 afterplants in the entire half. One of them was on an eco round. They've barely had an opportunity to warm up the communication. It's a rough way to go into map 2 if they just can't get any traction. As you're saying, the rate we're going here, pistol round is obviously going to be a necessity to make this close to compelling. Heavy B-lean from Ruby in this round. They haven't defaulted elsewhere. You can actually see Winter is already looking back behind them. That's because they have no information. They have no idea where AMKAL could be. And because of that, they're basically already committed to B. It's going to be really hard for them to pivot, and well, if AMKAL get a read, it's going to be tricky. That kill's nice. I guess that opens things up.
Yeah, Forrester immediately taking that spot. This is uncomfortable. It's the first time they've gone into Jag with no contest from Crad. Why is he giving us this room? Smoke now down as well, and they tried to line up the pre-fire, but Crad spams right back. Another player trying to emerge out of that smoke. Crad spamming his whole magazine, but Cade doesn't come through that smoke. Doesn't capitalize on the reload and gets him another chance at a fair duel, but back into a 2-on-2. Travis, though, answering from long, stopping any presence on the bomb site, and Icy is coming in from behind like a boa constrictor. It's looking like Ruby are all choked out. 7 seconds. Travis swings, and he'll find the kill. 11-1 at the half. AMKAL with a massive statement. We'll see how things go in the second.
back we go. Not been the best start for Ruby here on their map pick, of course. They took down the Guild Eagles earlier, so we know they have skills. We know there's some depth to this team, but unfortunately, maybe Ancient just isn't their map. Either way, there's still a chance here to prove their worth a little bit, and it's obviously got to start here. 2 for Sawalio. Moon up next. He doesn't last long. To play it out on the site proper. That's Dex, but he is tagged up. Forrester coming for blood. His teammates get 1, and this bomb, bit of a tricky plant as they go actually into Donut. Are they going B? Why not?
Yeah, they're scared. Those smokes weren't going to last much longer, so they just completely vacate, and Ruby do not have the read. They haven't even thought that AMKAL would make such a brazen rotation, but there they go, breaking into that B bomb site, punching in digits, and Ruby still none the wiser. Oh, timing's pretty poor there for Forrester. Peeked down long and didn't see anyone on the rotate, but now he spots one coming out wide. Winter finding the first, and Forrester has to ace clutch, coming in with these last couple of kills, but he can't find the frags. It's a little bit precarious, a little bit tricky, perhaps, for Ruby, but they get the pistol, and that's the first piece of the puzzle for what, you want to say is a chance at a comeback.
Yeah, this game's going twice as well as it was 20 seconds ago. It's great. It's gold.
And you think about the one round they did win was Sawalio winning a 2 versus 4
you're right, actually,
and getting 4 kills for it?
The 2v4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure that bodes super well. AMKAL, they did plant. Forrester, of course, with his frags, manages to muster an AK on himself, and that's a little bit frightening. So, it was a pissed around for Ruby, but we just know that these second round investments behind a plant, they might as well be a full gun round for this T side.
Yeah, even with the investment, though, they come in very lacking util-wise. They've got 1 belt via Nickelback that's given a couple of nades over to Forrester. So, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! All AMKAL really want to do is duel.
That's content. I respect it.
One
Forrester.
smoke, one molly.
Yeah.
It's
What?
ready for, oh my, what?
Okay.
How do you read that?
I don't know what trap card that was, but this is ridiculous. What is going on? Almost a second. Moon is taken very low. Cade does find a frag, but takes a lot of damage for his trouble. He'll be a lucky man to get out of this alive.
Oh.
And he does not. Moon is still trapped by Big Box. And Winter's in a different postcode trying to push his Moon. I don't blame him, to be honest. He had nowhere else to play from. But this is now a very precarious position. Nickelback trying to plant. His teammate should be able to hold his angles, and Dex does not have the support of his teammate. It's just Winter. Creeps his way out, but now he's spotted. 3 rifles trained on his position. Galil's galore. And that's 12 for AMKAL.
I know Forrester only got 1 kill, but he does a lot of work from his sort of solo lurk inside of A main. 1 smoke, 1 Molotov, a spam, and I mean, he almost gets 2 from the exact same position, kind of the exact same play. Feels like he kind of single-handedly delivered around there for AMKAL, weakened up those players so heavily. So they win pistol and lose the second round. There was a light at the end of the tunnel for Ruby, but it does feel like that's now been shuttered. Down to pistols, a lot of 5.7s and deagles. Gonna have to hope that they can find a quick kill and catch one of these AMKAL players at least slightly unaware. And they do find some good damage onto Nickelback, who is holding very defensively for a swing.
Very disciplined opening from AMKAL. You can just see establishing some map control. Crad now is poking and prodding in towards mid. What have we got here? We've got a boost out of A main, a higher lower sort of setup. And the troops are being called over. Forrester. He's bringing the men in. I want to see how they play this setup. Who's going to take contact? At the moment, it's Sawalio up first. His teammate as well in Cade in Donut. And let's see if Forrester clears. Out he goes. Headshot is immediate. That is beautiful. Second player runs right into the jaws of death. And in this round alone, at least we're seeing some fire, some life, some excitement out of Sawalio. Crad, he was the mid lurker. Now trying to come into play. It's 20 seconds. It has to be this A bomb site, and it's not going to be. Icy maybe even should think of saving. And Ruby, by hook or by crook, do make it to 3.
How does Sawalio do it? 2 kills on a 5-7. We saw another round exactly the same against Guild.
Was that him
find
as well?
The kill on
was that him
yeah, that
as
was
well?
also
Oh,
him.
beautiful.
Yeah, fighting A main, yep.
God.
I don't know how he gets away with it, but they even kill Icy after time, so that man is broke. He can get light armor, and
Follow
maybe
someone
one-
and
one of
hope
his-
they die.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Pretty
pretty
much.
dropped to Tech 9. Okay, well, there was no loss bonus for AMKAL. That's why they brought up into this one, guys. And, well, at least there's a rifle down for Icy. I guess that's the good news, but they're getting absolutely slaughtered as they come through this smoke. Cade punishes such reckless play. And this round's looking good. I mean, there's no cash reserves, obviously, given the force up. So, I don't know. If for nothing else, maybe a chance for Ruby just to play some Counter-Strike.
Moon is very uncomfortable now. They're doubled B, and this kill from Crad has segmented the defenses. There's no real hope of a clean rotation. Travis missing his timing and actually offering up his back. So Dex now known about, but they know where Moon is as well. He's pinned in position and he can't jump away. Crad, that's a key kill, but he's caught trying to jump into Donut, and Dex will find both. Nice clean shooting here from Dex to punish. Gets a little scary against the force buy of AMKAL, but they keep their head screwed on straight.
A long way to go. But one round at a time. Maybe not the best way to look at it, but as I said earlier, they can play some Vertigo. It's not like, oh, this is a done deal 2-0 if they fall here, but they'd certainly like to, you know, maybe put on a better showing. I'm sure they feel that way. This one, though, for the AMKAL squad, not much to speak of. One flashbang. A couple upgraded pistols. It is only Moon nearby, so if they can get out and cause a ruckus. Oh, they did the strat. The bomb was over towards B.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I respect it. Why not?
Hey, if there's ever a team to try and pull it off against, it's one that kind of lacks experience or doesn't think you'd even dare try it in an official match. Ruby were very quick to sort of over-rotate versus Guild as well, so potential vulnerability there, but not getting caught by it this time.
I'm getting nervous now, though. Guns are out. AMKAL, certainly not foreign to playing T-side. Ancient, a lot of these players, so expect good things. That Molotov, not really extinguished. Is in the end, but they take a lot of damage for their trouble as they're flying off catwalk. Cade here really wants a duel, but is kept at bay by this smoke. So mid control for AMKAL, but a lot of util invested down to the one smoke remaining. And the way they're headed right now, this is the more heavily laden bomb site. There's 3 in defense.
Yeah, it's a bit weird though. That long player watching for a potential wrap in through Red Room. That's a vulnerability. KK getting smoked off at every segment. And Travis and Crad have brutalized on the entries. Forster held his spot and was ready for Moon to swing from long late. That is perfectly executed. All 3 entries here for AMKAL. And while Crad dies on ledge, this round is looking well cooked for Ruby. A flank from Spawn that Forrester is cognizant of He doesn't have the health to trade, so another teammate will take his place. So Alio now making some steps. And even though the flash was lined up, Forrester's got it pinned in. A second frag. He's on 20 and could just well make it 21. Cade swinging in from ledge, and he gets the double, but there is no time, no space to make this work. He's only just trying to save his stats, and stats are going to be stopped at simply those few frags. It's a blowout here from AMKAL. They dominate on the first map in the series. It was selected by Ruby. Ancient is AMKAL's, however.
Yeah, I mean, in the grand scope, Ruby is not a team that's heavily experienced. We're not